So we'll talk about that and more coming up here. But DV for now, Jett Lawrence, he's undefeated. He got a real challenge this weekend from Chase. Chase was great, but he is still undefeated. Is he? And we're gonna have Stu on in a little bit. Is Jett racing the game like James did when James came in? Is this the next level? Is this something we are gonna have to get used to for a long time?
In terms of consistency points at the end of the year, maybe championships, and he might be better than James. Might be. The way he rides, in control.
Mm-hmm.
James, even to this day, is a better rider, more technical, like doing crazy jumps that nobody did. What we saw with James, that's why I'm wearing the hat. I'm a huge fan.
I know.
I'm a huge fan. The guy, put the supercross, motocross game to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
As far as what you could do with a dirt bike, I don't think we'll ever see somebody like
so
that.
Jett's not there in your mind.
Jett will not jump the wall in Daytona. It might not do a quad in Anaheim in 2011 for 20 laps when everybody else wasn't doing it. Wouldn't do like the jump over the table in Vegas in 03 or something. Like all the stuff we remember about Stu that he did that was crazy and nobody thought was possible. I don't think we might see that again in our lifetime.
Yeah.
I don't see it. But now the way Jett does it, technically is close to James. He might be able to do some stuff like James was doing. His technique is great. Supercross, motocross. Obviously, he works hard. He's fit. Everything else. He wants to win. So he has some Ricky into him. The good part of Ricky. He's a better rider in terms of a 450 user. He uses a 450 better than Ricky.
Yep.
And he has the consistency of a Dungey.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
So
he's a machine like that way. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And he never rides over his head. Maybe in the beginning, you remember like when he ended in Anaheim 20. When he was battling with that was the race with Dylan and Christian Craig.
Yeah, that was when he was a kid. Like he's still a kid, but
he was a kid. And then I said something about him that his dad did not like on this show. That he was too out of control. Like he will need to settle down. And his dad came to me a few months after at Glen Helen. And he's like, you're talking shit about my kid? I didn't even know his dad. He was next to me, looked at me like, but I didn't know who he was. And he started talking to me. And he did not really get what I was saying. The kid's great, but he needs to settle down.
Okay.
He.
But I think he has now.
Now is great. And the way he does it, so what James was doing was he wanted to win by a minute every time. He wanted to, every time he was on the bike, to push the envelope of the sport, the limit of physics and everything. He was on the edge all the time. That's why we loved him, But, Jett is 19. He realized that it's okay to win by 2 seconds. Same points, same money, same titles. And you can see it. You saw it in Inktown when Plessinger was kind of catching out at one point in the middle of one of the motos. And then Jett saw it. For 2 laps, he dropped his lap time 2 seconds.
Redbud too, and Dylan was catching
Redbud,
him. You were like, oh. Yeah.
He did the same thing a few times. And this weekend, it wasn't as easy for him because Chase was like on it. But it felt like he was playing the Mayweather game, kind of. Let him Chase get tired and catch up hard all the way when he got to him, And then you could see Jett picked it up a little bit just to like break him because there was a lapper in between, and everybody said, "Oh, the lapper's this, the lappers are here for everybody."
Yeah.
You know, lapper is like a mud race. It's like the track is shit. The track is shit for everybody. The lappers are there for everybody. So you have to deal with them. So I don't really buy into the lapper excuse. You have to deal with them better than Chase did. But his maturity, his consistency, his technique, the way he plays with the bumps,
he's
on the braking, he make doubles, triples. Like it's the creativity. It's really insane. The guy is 19.
To me, I didn't see what I'm seeing now on a 250. The 450 has brought out his skills even more so. 250s, you're railing the outsides, you're pinned, right? That's how you ride it.
Yeah.
He looked really good. Obviously, he won 2 national championships. He looked really good. But to me, on the 450 with the extra power, you're really seeing his creativity come out and his shining and how smooth he is. And he did make a couple mistakes at Millville, so he's human. He put his front wheel in a couple spots.
Yeah, he made a mistake in Pala first race when he caught his foot right here, like almost knocked, and you're gonna make mistakes. You cannot be like 100% perfect. It's not MotoGP or Formula One, or you can. It's the track changes all the time. You get surprised, and Pala also, like, he almost towards the end of the moto when he jumped a braking bump and he almost overshot that big rut, and then he stood up, saved it. It was fine. But what's good about it is everybody says, "Oh, his bike works great," but he makes the bike work great because a rider like this is very neutral. So he's not hard on the brake, not hard on the gas. So if you're not hard on the brake, you don't have this movement of mass that goes forward and back. So the bike is not rocking. It's always staying in the good part of the stroke in the suspension. The bike is very neutral. He's very neutral. And he's not aggressive. So he doesn't brake very hard. When you brake hard, the front end goes down. You hit bumps. You hit bumps on the hard part of the stroke. And then
hurt your arms, hurt your hands. Yep.
There we go. And then when you do this, you might overshot a rut, and you could see, the bike doesn't work very good. But it's very like gentle with his bike, and he let it. You can see down the hill and doing the braking and stuff. He doesn't really brake very hard. It's just like let it go. He slows down rather than braking. And this is great for suspension. It's like, I've said it before on the show. Go down a big downhill that's like super rough. Go down in second gear and let off. A lot of engine brake and braking bumps. The bike's going to be like unrideable. It's going to go left, right, up, down. But him is like, he's always a gear higher. And the bike, he lets the bike work itself, and then it's very great. I really enjoy watching him. And for a kid that's 19 riding like this with that much maturity,
right. He's gonna get stronger. He's gonna get more mature.
It's insane.
Right,
yes,
right.
Insane.
Are we in for? I'm not saying undefeated, but are we in for a Supercross championship a lot like this? Again, Chase will be back.
Yeah, Supercross maybe a little different, but you can count him out.
No, I'm definitely not saying that. Yeah,
you can't. And like he's gonna be like obviously the favorite.
Yeah.
And I don't see anybody else. Even a Tomac is Tomac is great when everything goes great, and then. And I think also his bike setup is horrible. I've said it on this show. As maybe, I don't think it's gonna be enough for Jett. That's like if it stays like this, Plus, put another 6 months of maturity, of more experience on the bike. We're in for Jett era. Yes. And we've said it here. I've said it many times. I've said it when I trained Dylan in a 250. I'm like, and I told him, I'm like, we got to get ready for Jett in a 450 because he's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other way around. And that was 3 years ago.
Right.
Because the way he rides, you put him on the 450, that's exactly what you see now. And I've been saying that forever, that a lot of guys don't use a 450 the right way. Now you have it.
Mm-hmm.
A 450 should be ridden exactly like Jett is doing.
Okay.
Mellow, gentle,
right.
like that.
Does he go undefeated?
Is that a big deal?
Yeah, it's only been done twice before.
Yeah, but it's only 22 motos anyway. So
Yeah.
we're going to say,
No,
Aussie and James going to be like, it was 24 moto then.
No one should say that. It is what it is.
For me, it doesn't. He's
Okay.
19.
Okay.
Where was Ricky and James at 19? They were still in the lower class.
I think James was up by 19. Maybe
No,
not.
he was 20
wasn't.
already.
He was 20? Okay.
It's December 21, 1985, and he moved up to the main class in
2005.
2005. So he wasn't 19.
Yeah.
But he didn't win. He broke his arm in Phoenix.
Yep.
And in 06 he didn't win either.
Right.
So it took him he's precocious.
Okay.
It's like it's crazy.
All right. At Fly Racing USA on social media, the 2024 Fly Racing line is dropping this Friday, DV, 2024. And to speak about that and more, it's Jason Thomas. What's up, JT?
Not too much. Just listening to the ever wise DV